I haven't mostly heard what you talk about, but that's really bad, isn't it?
When you're on the receiving end,
Yeah.
and I don't believe that violence is... Are we recording live or...?
It's not live, it's just recorded.
I don't believe violence is a very useful form of communication, shall I say. And you want to speak?
No, it's all right. I mean, you're speaking. You're welcome. This is Speaker's Corner. You're one of the speakers. I'm also one of the speakers.
Shall we...
You just talked about violence.
Yes.
Like, you're one of the speakers. And you said when you've been speaking, sometimes people have reacted in the sense that they have hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so?
Yes, it sadly is so. It spat on me.
Yeah, well, it's very sad. The thing is this, when we come here as speakers, we speak about something, It's good that if people want to ask us questions or if people want to, engage with us in a proper discussion, that is desirable.
Yes.
But where people actually start attacking us and, verbal abuse and spitting at us, things like that, that shouldn't be so, because I'm also one of the speakers, and of course sometimes we have a lot of hecklers. They come around and they have their own ideas.
Yeah, like Steve.
Yeah, well, okay, you have had problem with Steve.
Steve is a problem to himself.
Okay.
I mean, he's a very destructive person to his own life, to his own community.
Yeah.
But he believes that his form of communication, which is quite disgusting, is justified because he thinks he's superior and above everybody else in the world. And in fact, what he stands for destroys working class communities of all religions, not just Christian, which he obviously defends quite incidentally.
Christian, is he?
He thinks he's atheist, but he's not atheist.
Okay, you think he's a Christian?
I think he was brought up in a Christian world, and he never understand how to unconnect from that.
Okay.
So he describes himself as an atheist, which I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
But yes, I do disagree. I don't disagree that he believes that's true.
Yeah.
But it isn't true, because the people he supports, like Tommy Robinson, is a fanatical Christian who hates Muslims and wants to commit mass murder on the Muslim community. And that Tommy Robinson, I mean, Steve, so do you know his second name? It doesn't really matter.
No.
Steve is a regular here at Speaker's Corner, and you can find him out on type in YouTube, Speaker's Corner, you'll find Steve. But he's a massive lover of Tommy Robinson, and Tommy Robinson's Christian, therefore, Steve indirectly is a Christian because of that. If he criticised Tommy Robinson for his Christian values and his hatred of other religions, especially Muslim religions, then that would then sort of play more sense into the atheist ideology. He's actually intellectually taking part rather than just saying, don't believe in a God, that's enough, which isn't.
Well, actually, I'm learning from you that Steve is a Christian.
Yeah, indirectly Christian.
Yeah, but always
indirectly, not directly. It's a big difference.
Yeah, but always when he comes to me, as you say, Steve's been in the park, Speaker's Corner, for a few years, and I've been speaking here, and whenever he comes to me, he gives, he makes us think that he's an atheist.
Yes.
No
in his
way.
head, he thinks he's an atheist.
Yeah, and then yes, he likes to take part in speaking whilst we are speaking as speakers, and he likes to heckle as well. But never would I have thought that he's a Christian. Always, he talks as though he's an atheist.
Yeah, he believes he's an atheist.
Yeah.
That's a very important distinction.
Okay.
So he believes he is an atheist without any shadow of doubt, and I believe that is true.
Okay.
He believes that, but it's what you do and how you act and how you envision the world and your philosophy that defines whether you're something or not. So if you're a Muslim and then don't believe in certain massive parts of the Quran, are you a Muslim still? So, but I don't want to get into that subject. I was just giving I suddenly realised that was not a good description. What I'm trying to say is that, Steve, he's a fundamentalist, indirectly supporter of Christianity, but he would and he'd rightly defend he isn't.
Okay.
So you have to see that distinction.
Yeah.
He supports this Christian crusade over Europe of exile, of the torture and not torture, any means necessary to get rid of Muslims.
Yeah.
I mean, he went on holiday to Israel just recently. I was
Okay,
thinking,
I don't know.
what is Tommy Robinson? Because Tommy Robinson has strong connections in Israel because they support they hate Israel.
Yeah.
Also has a violent hatred of Muslims as well. Rightly or wrong, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I think it is wrong personally. Should say yes, I am saying it's wrong in fact. What am I on about? Sorry, it's very early in the morning still. So Tommy Robinson's an Israel, which is different to the Jewish faith, of course.
Yeah.
Israel is different to the Jewish faith. There is a distinction between the two, but Israel is far right at the moment. Is a far right country that thinks which believes that murder and repression is justified actions to meet their political desires, dreams, and whims.
Okay, so you mainly talk about politics, is it?
Correct. How did you guess that?
Well, as you're speaking just now, I could get, you mainly talk about politics. I try to stay away from politics, But,
well, this is good discussion. I think religion dominantly is politics.
Okay.
But it comes from, it doesn't say politics of man.
Yeah.
It says politics of our God. So politics of man and politics of our God.
Politics, there I would disagree with you a little. Why? Because, politics of man, yes, but politics of God. I would say, I got the Quran, which is the book of us Muslims everywhere in the world, is the same book, the Quran. I would say this book is from God.
Yeah.
And when we read it, and we want to believe it or we believe in it, then we have to follow it.
Yeah.
So we don't think it's politics from God, but we believe it's a book from God. And it's up to us whether we want to believe it or not. And you mentioned that earlier on, a few minutes ago, that maybe some people don't believe in the major part of the Quran.
I didn't say that. I came out with a bad example.
All right.
It's still quite. I haven't had my coffee yet, so I take that back. It was a ridiculous thing for me to say.
But the thing is, for Muslims, to say they are Muslims, to hold the Quran, to read the Quran, and then not to believe in the whole of the Quran from beginning to the end, that means they can't be Muslim.
Sorry, so you're saying if you don't believe in the whole thing, you cannot be Muslim?
No, if a person says he's a Muslim, but he goes completely against the teachings of the Quran, okay, like for example, he takes part in murder, takes part in rape, takes part in fraud, takes part in a lot of mischief, lot of these things, which is not allowed by the Quran. So that means he's not going according to the
it's not a Quran thing. That's just a basic.
Because remember, Allah tells us in our Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, the cow, Surah chapter number 2, ayah verse number 195. Allah says, "Inna Allah yuhibbul muhsinin." Allah loves those who are doers of good. Allah loves those who do good. So, if somebody doesn't do good, surely Allah won't love them.
Your belief in this the Quran defines your own personal belief?
Well, because the Quran is a book of the Muslims, and I am a Muslim holding the Quran, so I have to believe in the whole of the Quran. Yes, personally nobody is forcing me. Okay, it is my own choice.
I think choice is a very interesting thing you've brought, because in actual fact, like in Christianity and other religions, there is this unspoken rule that if you don't choose the strict way of believing something, then there is going to be consequences. And those consequences can be like being just not distanced by a family member.
Yeah.
I mean, to have if you're a child and your father's more strict than you are in the Muslim belief, which is nothing wrong with that, and that child thinks less strictly about that, and then the father says, right, I think you're no longer a believer, then the pain from that, it forces that child to be more just be more like his father. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but choice isn't such a fair thing to say.
Yeah, you talk about the parents there. Yes, parents, father or mother, they have a duty to guide their children towards the right path. Okay, to guide their children to live a life that will be profitable for them, to live a life which would be lawful, which would be good for themselves and those around them. Okay, now because the parents have, so as Muslims, of course, during when the youngsters, they do something, they don't know something, they ask their parents or their parents tell them, but when they grow old, like for me example, I have grown up in this country, from primary school, my education is in this country. So I remember my parents telling me things as well, and yes, but since I have grown up, I have read the Quran and I have believed in what the Quran says, though that I live in a society, as we know, in Great Britain, in England, in London, I've gone to the schools here, I've been educated here, but still I'm a Muslim. Nobody's forced me, whether it was a parents, whether it was anybody.
But in your individual case, that may be true.
Yeah.
But you are aware that communities can be very cruel to certain parts of their own community because maybe they don't believe strictly in something, and that cruelty can manifest itself in such a way that that individual will have no choice but to conform, even against that person. Let's say, for example, that child maybe be gay or something, and which I personally believe is down to is an individual human right to believe in their own sexuality and be defended in law. But if the community says that's wrong, persecutes to a point where
MistaRax in the house.
You talk
what about that example?
You talk about cruelty. Cruelty. You say cruelty is there all over the world. Okay. It is not a good thing. But according to the teachings of the Quran and the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, cruelty is not allowed, not accepted Islamically. If somebody is a Muslim. Now, as Muslims, we have to be good human beings. We cannot be cruel and be Muslims at the same time. If we are cruel, that means we are not good Muslims. Whether somebody is cruel to his children, to his wife, to the husband, to the other family members, or to people living around. So cruelty is all over the world. It's got no religion. Whether we are in a Muslim country, in a Christian country, in a Jewish country, in an atheist country, in a socialist country, in a communist country, in any continent, any country of the world. Yes, there are instances of cruelty. It's not just one society or one religious group, yes. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Muslim. If I'm a Muslim, I cannot be cruel to anyone. If I'm cruel, that means I am committing sin. And if I am committing sin, it is not acceptable to the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, I'm a Muslim, you can see from the fact that Islam, ever since our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he started preaching more than 1400 years ago. Islam has been spreading, spreading. From the times of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, even today, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. It is the fastest growing way of life in the world. Yes.
So just coming back to the cruelty thing. So what you're saying then, if you're my example was about an individual might be gay in a
gay.
community.
You mean homosexual?
Whatever terminology we both know what gay means. Terminology use. So you're saying that you're condemning any religion which is cruel to a gay community.
No,
is that what you're saying?
What I am saying. We were talking about cruelty, okay? Now you bring the subject of gay, homosexuality, and probably you want to bring in lesbianism as well. Homosexuality, man with man, and lesbianism, women with women. You see, I'm a Muslim again. I keep saying that. The thing is that according to the teachings, Islamic teachings, according to the teachings of the Quran, according to the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, homosexuality is haram. Haram is not allowed, prohibited. And similarly,
what does haram mean?
Similarly, haram is prohibited, not allowed. Okay, not allowed. Haram is Arabic word. Okay, and similarly, you're welcome. And similarly, lesbianism, where women get married with women, or they are women partners, or they live together as though they are, married, whatever. Again, in the teaching of Islam, lesbianism is not allowed. And same is the case with Christianity when we read the Bible. When we read the Bible, any translation of the Bible, okay, is the same thing, okay? According to the Bible as well, homosexuality is not allowed. According to the Bible as well, lesbianism is not allowed as well, okay? Now, the Christians might have changed it a bit, but as Muslims, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in our Quran, okay, or what our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he told us in Hadith, we cannot change it. Simple, yes.
So that's now becomes a political issue.
Okay.
Because a human being that you have deemed maybe the word condemn is a bit too strong, or would you say condemned? Is that an accurate word?
Well, condemn is one of the words. It depends what you were speaking about.
You're happy with me using. So you've condemned a group of people.
Yes.
And this group of people have done nothing or interfered in any way whatsoever with your own belief, your religion, and yet you've gone out of you're saying you're going out of your way to find another community that has never said anything against you, and you're going to be cruel to them and then condemn them.
How you mean cruel to them? Like, for example, we are in Speaker's Corner. I'm a Muslim speaker, and you are one of the speakers as well. Okay.
My name is Gus. I'm a speaker here too.
Okay. So as speakers, as a Muslim speaker, I speak about what we Muslims believe in. I might also speak about the Bible as well, about the Torah as well, and about different beliefs as well. I try to stay away from politics. Okay. I haven't heard you speaking much because I'm always busy speaking myself. Okay. But you're one of the speakers as well. Okay. It is our right, as long as we stay within the law, within the rules and regulations of Speaker's Corner, freedom of speech, okay? As long as we don't break the English law, we are allowed to speak, okay? So when I'm speaking as a Muslim, like if I just spoke about, in Islam, homosexuality is haram, prohibited, not allowed. Like I just, in Islam, lesbianism is haram, not allowed, prohibited. This is my right to speak in Speaker's Corner as a speaker. I haven't broken any law. And by saying that, I'm not committing cruelty, okay? Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
With our words, we shape the world around us. And if our words are condemning, cruel, and misinformed, that therefore creates that world of cruel, misinformed, and the other word I just said. And that is what words are. They're not just things which disappear beyond into the ether. They actually embed themselves in people's minds, and people therefore, with those words, act and make their life around them based on those words. So no, when you say you are free to speak what you want, which I completely agree with, within reason, because swearing at people and all that is also an issue. But I wish I'm guilty of myself. I'm ashamed to say.
You just brought in swearing. Okay.
Let's take on the same subject.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the
Okay. Yeah. Just for the moment, you talk about swearing. Okay. Now, as Muslims, we cannot swear at somebody. Why? Because it is considered sin. There is a hadith saying of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, where he said, swearing is fisk. F-I-S-Q. Fisk is an Arabic word. Okay? It means disobedience. Disobedience of who? The Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as Muslims, we cannot swear. Even though sometimes I get a lot of hecklers, they're trying to make it very hard for me to speak. I cannot swear.
Yeah, that's good.
It is a sin. All right?
And my ambition is to be the same as well. So
you're welcome, of course. When we swear at somebody, what's going to happen? They're going to swear back at us.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is not nice,
I have one last question when you finish speaking. I have one last question.
Yeah, can I just come back to this homosexuality and this lesbianism? Look, in the world today, in many countries, in the majority of countries, or let's say nearly every country, there are more women than there are men. There are more women than there are men. Okay? According to Islamic teachings, a person can only live with a woman, he's married to the woman. Okay? Now, according to Islamic teachings, a person can marry up to 4 wives. Okay? But Allah tells us that a person can marry 2, 3 or 4. Up to 4, but it is better for him to only marry one if he can't deal with them properly. If he can't, if he gives too much attention to one, less attention to the second one, even less attention to the third one, then one is better. Okay, one is better. Now, according to Christian teachings, according to the Bible, as I have read it, it says 1 man, 1 wife. So, and living with a woman outside marriage is not allowed, according to the teachings of the Bible as well. Now, if that was the case, that means the majority of women in the vast number of countries today, they will not be able to find a husband. Why? Because more women, less men. So if it is according to the Bible, Christianity, I'm not Christian bashing here, I'm giving you an example. 1 man, 1 wife, what would that mean? That would mean still there are so many extra women who can't find a partner, can't find a husband. Okay, and if they live their lives without a husband, with a boyfriend, something like that, it's even against the teachings of the Bible. And according to Islamic teachings, a man can marry up to 4 wives. That could save, get so many women who otherwise wouldn't be able to find a husband, they can have a husband. Yes.
So I just want to, this is my last statement and question, by the way, as well, because I want to keep on the subject that we were talking about. And so, statement before my question. As I was saying before, the gay community has never attacked the Muslim or Christian faiths, the religions, the major religions. They've never attacked them. They've never conspired to bring them down. They've never gone on marches against them. They've never been part of a system which attacked Muslim or Christian, both religions. And yet, even though your religion is obviously under attack by other religions, somehow you find the time to attack a community which has never threatened you. And yet right now in Iraq and other Muslim countries as well, I'd imagine, but Iraq for the moment, we had a Christian crusade just recently to steal So the Christian leaders went over there to steal a load of oil from there and murder a load of Muslims. And yet, somehow, they've still got the time, instead of concentrating on maybe how to resolve these issues in a non-violent and non-aggressive way, in a humane way, you find the time to attack a community that's never bombed you, or you've never bombed they've never bombed you. And so my question to you, which I hope you can answer, if not I don't mind, because I'm about to go after this, by the way. I'm about to go.
Yeah.
So why attack? Why be inhumane to a group of people that, what do you believe they've done to you that so deserves your condemning them and cruelty of our community, both religions? I'm actually speaking to you and the Christian community.
Okay.
So I'm not just talking about the Muslim. You understand?
Yeah.
It's religion. It's religion, the main religion.
Yeah.
So Christianity, the Jewish religion's the same as well, and Christian have been so cruel. What is that cruelty? Why those main religions, which you're part of, why are they so dominantly cruel to a group of people which has never conspired to bring you down?
So you are saying they are conspiring, or they are cruel? Are you saying to the Muslims?
Religion. No, I'm saying, well, you've condemned people. I'm asking you,
Okay,
why are you condemning the gay community?
Can I just finish
Why?
off there? You mentioned,
finish.
the Crusades.
I will be leaving soon.
Yeah, okay. You mentioned the Crusades. Let me tell you, there have been a total number of
Are you finished on the gay subject?
Pardon?
If you finished on the gay subject, I'm
About
going.
Muslims, about the gay subject, I
I'm gonna
almost
go.
finished. Let me just say, if man start marrying with man, and I just already have said, okay, I'm on camera, I've already said that there are more women than men in nearly every country of the world, okay? Now, if man start marrying with man, men start having men as partners, men start living with each other, so that means already in the world, where in nearly every country there are more women than men. So if men start marrying with men now, start taking men as partners, that would mean more women looking to find a husband. Why? Because now... Pardon?
Thank you very much for your words.
Okay,
I'm going to shoot off now. Thank you very much.
Anyway, have a nice
Cheers.
day, yeah?
Thank you very much. I'll see you later.
Thank you very much. Okay, you're a gentleman there. Okay, that's all two speakers in Speaker's Corner, and we talk to each other. We had no problem. He, spoke what he wanted to speak about, and I spoke what I spoke about. And there was nothing like heckling, no enmity between us, you see. This is the way it should be. And this is the way I hope when people come here in Speaker's Corner, they are involved in a dialogue like this rather than, going a bit far.